Am I the asshole for calling my friend jealous and insecure? My friend Aisha, 22 female, has a history of going after our friends' old crushes, flings, boyfriends, etc. She went after my ex-boyfriend when we were 18, went after our friend's ex-boyfriend freshman year of college, etc. No one had ever said anything about it for one reason or another, because other than this, Aisha was a really good friend. She has never gone for a guy that no one else has gone for either, especially with me. She's gone after most of the guys I've talked to, after we were done talking, and I didn't mind until now. Most of our friends used to like Jaden, my current boyfriend, 22 male. Aisha along with 4 other girls liked Jaden when we were 19, but he never entertained them. We were all in the same friend group but Jaden and I never really talked until a few months ago when we ran into each other. He lost touch with a lot of people in the friend group and hadn't talked to Aisha in years. We ended up talking and now we're dating. When Aisha found out, she started texting Jaden and asking him to hang out. It got to the point where she'd complain to me about him not responding to her. I told Jaden I don't mind him hanging out with her to catch up, but that Aisha has a history of doing this kind of thing and catching feelings, so if he does see her, he should make it clear he isn't interested. They ended up never hanging out and Jaden doesn't respond to her texts. Aisha kept being persistent and texting him. She continued to complain to me about him not responding and eventually complained to all of our friends. It made everyone uncomfortable. I didn't say anything until the other day when she brought up how Jaden had said he would date her. Someone asked who he would date if he had to pick from the group of girls who liked him when we were 19 and he said her. I was there for it and I'm not bothered by it. I told Aisha, he said if he had to pick from the girls who liked him, he would have picked you, nothing else. He didn't, and doesn't see you in that way. I told her it made me uncomfortable how she talked about Jaden and said, "You're acting like you have a crush on him and whether or not you do, he's with me, and that's not going to change." Aisha told me I sounded jealous and I said, "No, I'm annoyed. Jealous would imply you have something I don't, and believe me, that isn't the case. If you can't get a guy without him being with one of us first, that's on your own jealousy and insecurities. Stop trying to get with my boyfriend and everyone else's. It's not cute, and you're doing yourself a disservice. You can't go after our exes then complain about how you feel like you're a second choice." Aisha stopped talking to me after that. While all of our friends think I needed to be said, some think I crossed the line by insulting her and think I should have just said she was making us uncomfortable. Edit 1. Aisha has now been trying to claim she was just trying to catch up with Jaden since they used to be close friends, and that I took things the wrong way. She said she was just joking around and that it wasn't that serious. However, after some digging around, I found out that when Jaden and I started talking, she started asking around about him. A mutual friend told me that she was convinced Jaden liked her and was going to ask her out, because she saw TikToks saying a guy with the letter J was going to come into her life and that she should expect some romance. She also found out Jaden kept a painting she made for him for Secret Santa back during freshman year of college, and saw it as a sign. I told Jaden all of this and he has since thrown out the painting and blocked her on everything. Not the asshole pointing out someone is insecure or jealous isn't insulting them. Unless more was said that you are leaving out. Not the asshole and maybe consider dropping that friend because holy insecurity, Batman. She has zero place complaining about how your boyfriend isn't texting her back, much less to the entire group. I'm surprised you put up with it for that long. She needed that line boldly drawn, though. She wouldn't have stopped by just being told you made people uncomfortable. Not the asshole, but one theme that comes up a lot in this sub-post is that, so-and-so is a wonderful friend except that they cheat on tests, or sleep with people's SOs, or murder kittens but only on alternate weekends. Aisha is not a good friend if she constantly behaves like this. But of course, your friend group and you get to make the choices you want. Complaining about said choices, however, is not allowed. Not the asshole, you laid it out straight. Aisha shouldn't have even bothered texting your boyfriend if that's how she acted with your exes, BFS, or flings. It's incredibly disrespectful to even bother texting your boyfriend when you guys all of a sudden start dating. It's toxic. Honestly, she deserved a bit of truth, and needs to work on herself. Not the asshole. She is actively attempting to make your boyfriend cheat or leave you. I know a lot of people would be uncomfortable if someone went after their ex once. She has been going after them like a dog to scraps. This is a persistent behavior that seems to be escalating to active relationships. Not the asshole, she seems like she has low self-esteem because she feeds off what her friends have. Not the asshole, she needed to be told. So, yeah, it needed to be said and I wouldn't have changed it. Sometimes an asshole is a good thing because they're willing to say something that needs to be said. So not the asshole, but also kinda a little bit. But also good for you being direct and clear. Would I be the asshole if I got my neighbor fined for not mowing their lawn? I never thought I'd be that neighbor complaining, but hear me out. Since we moved in, I've seen this neighbor mow her grass once with a push mower last fall, and someone hired a company once after this winter. In over a year her grass has been cut twice, minus the one exception I'll get to later. When we bought this house last June, July, it turns out the seller paid his landscaping company to do her lawn while our house was being sold. We rarely see anyone come and go, and it's just her that lives there as far as we know. She's definitely a renter and doesn't own the home. Ultimately, her grass has been an issue for a long time. Beyond the weed issue, which fair enough if she doesn't care about that, it has been 4 weeks since it was last cut. We live in Florida, and it's been raining like crazy, meaning her grass is about knee level at this point. Also, when it was last cut the last time was because my husband and the neighbor on her other side teamed up and cut her lawn because it was crazy bad. So she hasn't touched her yard in 3+ months and has maybe been home 5 times or less during that period. Husband and I work from home with a clear view of the street. We're positive she hasn't been staying in the home. When she is, she's typically gone fairly soon after, like she was grabbing something. No neighbors have her number either for us to call, and no one has been able to catch her to talk to her. Essentially, I found out a rental company owns her home. I also found out the name of the company and their website. I called and confirmed it's still being rented. I can submit a request online for maintenance, but it says that requests that are renter responsibility will result in a minimum $105 fine, but at least they can force something about it. It also confirms on the website that renters are responsible for yard maintenance. So would I be the asshole if I contacted her rental company about her yard, which will likely get her a $105 fine? Edit to include a comment. Not being sarcastic, but I didn't think I needed to explain when I said how high it is, and I should have included for people who don't live in a more tropical area near the water. It's not about unsightly at all. One thing I didn't include is our houses push up against a trail, and multiple people walking by have reported raccoons, snakes, 2 alligators, etc. with photos of the animals in her yard. Alligator capture people have gone out both times. There isn't a fence separating her yard from the trail either. Additionally, we aren't edging her area or anything, so the extra tall stuff does fall over onto our side, and the neighbor on her other side, he's doing maintenance on his side in order to prevent grass growing up the side of her house. Didn't know that was a thing, from falling onto his house. I've also personally trimmed her tree since it was so overgrown that the tree trunk was bent leaning over into my yard. 100% not about just unsightly. Edit 2. Because everyone keeps saying I should talk to her. I literally cannot. No one has her number. She's been home maybe 5 times total in months for minutes apiece. By the time I notice she's home, she's gone by the time I can get away from work. She hasn't responded to letters other neighbors have left. I'd say not the asshole because rats, rodents and all kinds of other critters, especially in Florida, increase in areas with unkempt lawns. For everyone saying you're the there's good reason why this sort of thing is usually an ordinance violation in cities. But I'd talk to her first before doing anything. If you talk to her and it doesn't get taken care of and stay taken care of, then I think it's fair game to report. You are not going the asshole here. Your neighbor is going to attract not just rodents and ambush predators. Ticks, fleas, mosquitoes and other blood-sucking pests that can carry deadly diseases. And to anyone who says they should mind their own business, look at where Op lives. Op lives in Florida, for Pete's sake. That place is mosquito central. And having grass at knee height isn't safe at all. If Op doesn't report the neighbors, then Op and the other neighbors will be in danger. The yard has become a habitat for snakes and alligators, not the asshole. Contact your town, not the rental company. There is a reason many towns have nuisance laws. This is the reason. Likely they will give her a set amount of time to get her lawn maintained. If she doesn't take action within that time frame, the city will hire it out and bill her for it. Literally any other place in the world I would say you are the asshole, but being that it is Florida, honestly there are some safety concerns there. A lot of ambush predators live there, and that would be a great place for them to be. Like I live in Illinois and my neighbor owns his house but does nothing with his yard. I could care less cause mine looks that much better in comparison. Not the asshole. Unkept yards can attract rats, rodents. That being said, you might try calling the city first, to find out what the local ordinance is. If she is within it, you shouldn't call. If not, then report it. Not the asshole. This is unsafe levels. All these possibilities. Report to town, if there is an applicable ordinance. WA. If there is one, then rental company. The rental company doesn't have to care if someone is pestering them about it. Not the asshole. If it had just been about the grass looking bad, then you would have been ta. However, the grass being home to animals that could potentially endanger people's lives completely changed that. You are trying to keep people safe. I would make sure she gets fined and mows her lawn to ensure that no more snakes and alligators can hide there and possibly harm someone. Not the asshole. No property should be left unpet to that extent, especially if it is harboring wildlife. That isn't just the renter's issue at that point. That is a neighborhood concern. Am I the asshole for leaving a nasty sticky note in my bathroom for my roommate? I, F23, found my roommate, F30, on RentFast and don't know that much about her to be honest. I've never been interested in getting close with her, and I simply see my current rental as a place to live. About a few months in my started copying all sorts of different behaviors, foods, room style, clothing, all that jazz. I.e., whenever I go on my afternoon and evening walks she will go on one right after. She bought the exact same furniture and carpets to match my bedroom. She copies the food and recipes that I make and eat. When I buy new shoes she will go out and buy the same shoes. I bought food organizers and food clips for my food 2 days after she does the same thing. I go for a run, she'll wait till I get home and go to my room and she will go for a run. She will start doing the exact same cleaning routine that I'm doing while I'm doing it. She also gets jealous of my current relationship even though she has her own fiancé. She has made hints that she is into my boyfriend. Ultimately she doesn't do any of these things unprompted. She only does them when I do them. The other day I had a hunch that she was going in my room, so instead of buying an expensive camera I put up a sticky note in my bathroom that said, "Hi. Please get out of my bathroom, this is extremely invasive. Also, please stop copying me, it creeps me out." If she saw the note and reacts, that means she's been in my room. Otherwise it likely means she doesn't go in and I don't need to have that conversation with her. Needless to say, she found my sticky notes and was very alarmed and concerned. I told her she should not be going in my room unless I give her permission. She said she was looking for cleaning supplies and thought I had taken cleaning supplies for her room, and hence we are on a allowed to go in room without asking for permission basis. I said I would never do that without asking first. I said maybe it's possible that she may have thought that, but regardless she should be asking to go into my room. I said I apologize for the tone, but I find the situation distressing. I also said I noticed that she copied my room setup exactly, which made me feel weird. She said it's a coincidence and she didn't even notice. I did not bring up the other copying instances since apparently she does not have an awareness of the issue or she is in denial. Am I the asshole for leaving this note? She creeps me out a lot because of the above issues. I would have loved to ask her about my suspension beforehand, but I needed proof that she was actually going in. Edit. FYI. Additional details. My roommate is also the landlord. I don't have a lock on my bedroom door. I have the master bedroom, so my bathroom and bedroom are connected. She can only get to my bathroom through my bedroom. I do not have a friendship with the roommate, we are acquaintances as best. I did not know her prior to renting either. She has openly said my boyfriend is her type despite her having a fiancé. Edit 2. I have bought a 2-pack security cameras, one for bedroom, one for bathroom, and a portable door lock as per your wonderful suggestions. I will update if I catch any strange behavior on my cameras. Thanks for the help and support XXX. Not the asshole. That is extremely weird and you're absolutely right. If she didn't go into your bathroom she wouldn't have seen the note. Get a lock for your room or set up some cameras. Her behavior is creepy AF. It is time to move out. This is single white female stuff right here. You don't need that. In the meantime, lock your bedroom, and if you don't share a bathroom, lock that too. Nobody cares if your roommate is offended by a post-it note that she wouldn't have ever seen if she hadn't gone into your bathroom. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. As you said, if she weren't invading your personal space she wouldn't have seen it. I really doubt she was looking for any cleaning supplies too. She was probably looking at your toiletries so she could copy that too. And what if she touched your toothbrush? This is incredibly creepy behavior. Tell her to stay TF out of your room. Think about installing a lock to your personal bedroom, bathroom doors, or get out of this roommate deal if at all possible. This is one of those situations where you can fake your death and move to another city and it wouldn't be an overreaction. Your roommate is straight up creepy. But I probably watch too many thriller movies. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You're living the real life, the roommate. You have proof she goes into your room. How else would she know how to copy your setup? Not the asshole, she is being creepy, and if she wasn't sneaking into your room she would have never seen the note. There's a movie from 90s called Single White Female that your description of her behavior reminds me of. It's about a new roommate's off behavior. I would tell you to watch it, but with what you got going on it would probably make your situation feel a little creepier lol, so you might not want to. Not the asshole, there is something going on with this girl and you need to draw firm, clear boundaries in that kind of situation. Not the asshole. Move out. Update. Am I the asshole for picking out the peas from my dinner in front of my mum's boss? Hello. Original post. Thank you very much for your insight. I appreciate all the comments and also the awards. I think that's very cool to receive. Some comments said to talk about it with my mum. I did and it went very well. She said sorry and said it was not my fault. She explained to me how it went and I will try to tell it as short as possible. Mum was very stressed because she never hosts dinners. She wanted her colleagues to like it. They requested the recipe. She forgot I don't eat peas because she was too busy with her colleagues. She wanted me to eat with them because at her colleagues' houses kids also ate with them. She didn't want to make a fuss about my autism because sometimes I'm rude when people ask about it. She said her head was all over the place all evening. I said to her that that's why I could have made my own food. She said that was difficult because there was no time for that. I didn't realize because I'm not good with time awareness. I asked her to communicate with me next time and be more clear about what I can or can't do. She said she will and said I can help cook next time too. Almost every comment said that her boss was nice. He probably wasn't angry or upset with her. I told this to my mum. She said sorry to me again because she wasn't upset at me at all. She was embarrassed because she tried to get me to behave normally, and she shouldn't have done that. She took it out on me on a whim. I also said sorry because I didn't realize that it could have been important for her work status. I just thought they were like friends. She said it was okay because I didn't make a big fuss and I didn't get loud or walk away. She's proud of me for staying at the table and also thinking about the ducks. We concluded that we both learned things. I learned things because I now know more about work dinners and manners. She learned things because she now knows to communicate and explain more to me to avoid stress. In the comments people also said her boss might have experience with autistic people. I asked my mum and it was a little bit sad. His little brother was autistic but he died 10 years ago. It made him sad because he loved him a lot. He told her I should eat things I liked next time because it upset him to think Mum was worried about appearances so much that I had to be uncomfortable during dinner. He also said that dinner was really good and that he's happy to have her in his team at work. He's a good person and a good boss. I sent him a thank you email with my mum. Last thing is that I fed the ducks the peas. I think they were happy about it. The thing with ducks is that they don't say that to you, of course. I got an ice cream with 2 scoops at the pond. I also got one for my mum because I had money left. It was a little bit melted when I came home because it was 5 minutes walking, but she still liked it and she said I was amazing. Thank you for reading. As someone who had pet ducks, I can confirm that those little quackers not only liked the peas, they loved them. They're the ultimate duck snack. After my ducks discovered that the freezer was where I kept peas, I couldn't open the freezer without being mobbed. When we're young we assume our parents are perfect. As we get older we learn that that's not true. They're humans and thus prone to mistakes and miscommunications. It's good that your mom was able to recognize her own mistakes and learn from them. And your mom's boss does sound like a class act. Ducks are pretty rad. This might be the nicest story I've read in all of Reddit, both the original post and the update. Just a bunch of really sweet people misunderstanding each other and it all working out in the end. Lovely. The original post and update made me cry happy tears, which I almost never do. How lovely to read something so beautiful and wholesome. I really like the way you write. I'm happy things turned out so well. Thank you for sharing. You seem like a delightful person. I'm glad you're in this world, And I did not know ducks like peas. So I learned something new too. I think they were happy about it. The thing with ducks is that they don't say that to you, of course. They were likely very happy, don't you worry about that. Also, consider taking up creative writing. You have such a fun style about you that I think would get you far. You have that Douglas Adams wit. Your update made my heart so happy. This was a great update, thanks for sharing. I'm glad everything went well for you and your mom. This is wholesome and who the hell is cutting onions in here?